Hello everyone and welcome to Closet Gaming. Today I would like to talk to you guys about something I think is very important, yet lacking in the gaming industry. And that is video game preservation. It's something that all the other industries that have to do anything with arts already have. It's there for music, it's there for books, it's there for movies, even TV series. Only in the place where gaming exists, this is sort of a shady area. There are sites who say that they are dedicated to preserving our video game history, but they often operate in these legal gray zones where many of the games they are preserving are still copyrighted, and technically they have no right to them. So I think this is why we need to create an organization that would be dedicated to this. Something to preserve the video game history for the future generations as well. So let's take a quick look at the petition itself. It's called Create International Video Game Registry to Preserve Video Game History. And it's pretty much all you might think it is. I talk about the fact that this is something we need. I want this organization to be a non-profit organization that would serve solely one purpose: to preserve our video game heritage for future generations. And seriously, there are so many organizations that already exist for preserving books. Usually those are taken care of on a national level. Or the National Film Registry for US movies. They pick 25 movies each year that had the most impact and just preserve them for future generations. And I've decided to do this because of the recent ROM site problems, where you might remember there were two sites. One was called Love ROM, the other was called Love Retro, sued by Nintendo last month. And the thing is, Nintendo had all the right to actually do that. The sites were providing ROMs of games that were clearly copyrighted and provided them to people for free. That's just easy copyright infringement. So, as I say here in the petition, that's why I'm proposing this simple solution. Let's create a non-profit organization that would be there to actually preserve these games. I want this organization to have a few simple goals. I want it to select the most important games every year, and actually going back to the past at this point, that need to be preserved. Secondly, they would obviously need to gather them in some way, one way or another. I think mostly it would be done by the developers just sending them a copy of it and them storing it somewhere. And then they would just preserve it and try to promote this unique part of the video game industry where it's still incredibly young. We're pretty much still just maybe like 5 to 6 year olds. But we need to preserve all the memories that we have from our childhood, because otherwise they will never be accessible to the people who come after us, to our descendants. And trust me, people will want to know how the gaming industry developed, because there's no doubt about it in my mind that the gaming industry is here to stay. The same way books have managed to survive for thousands of years at this point. The same way music has existed for hundreds and thousands of years. The same way TV and movies exist for at least a century now. Gaming is here to stay, and it will be just more and more becoming a form of art. And art is important to protect. And this could be done by creating a non-profit organization. The way I think it should be funded is any company that wants to be included in this should send a little bit of their profits to running this organization. I don't think it would be expensive even. It's essentially about having one huge data center and maybe like a small gaming history museum somewhere, but I don't think that is necessarily needed at that point, the museum. But to preserve these games, yes, we definitely need to preserve them. And the only way to do this is to create such an organization. So, if you think this is a good idea, I would really love you guys if you could visit change.org, vote for my petition, and share it around. The link to the petition is in the description of the video. Sometimes it will be posted in the articles I will be creating going with this. But most of all, just think whether you want your children to be able to play the same games you played. I know most of the time they will not be interested. But it will be a nice trip down memory lane. Just, you know what, when I was your age, I played the original Doom. You want to see it? And your 5-year-old kid will be like, yeah, I want to see that, Daddy. And that's something we shouldn't take away from neither us or our descendants. So please, if you think this is a good idea, be sure to like this video, be sure to share it, and most of all, be sure to sign the petition and share that. Because this is really, really needed in the gaming industry.